Hi, welcome to Garden Cafe. I'm Maureen, and this is my Texas Zone 8B 9A garden. Today is my planting up and planting out video. I did another one a few weeks ago. My microphone died. I got a brand new one. The iPad tipped over and it broke. I had to wait a while, but several of the videos had no sound, so I either voice over or add music to those so you just can see the process I go through. But this is it. It's time to plant out, to get the rest of all those seedlings out in the yard. Just to review a few things in here. This is my raised garden on my front porch. As some of you may know, if you'd seen previous videos, I had a serious issue with squirrels digging in all of my planters on the front porch and the back porch, by the way. And then someone came forward and said, try peppermint oil, which I did, and came out the next morning and everything was just fried. I was so sad. Some of the stuff has bounced back, not as well as maybe I would have liked them to. I'm sure this would have been a glorious planter. I'm sure all of these would have been had I not destroyed them with the peppermint oil. I'm sure it was my fault. I'm sure I probably did not water it down enough or whatever. I'm sure I probably did it incorrectly, but regardless, I'm not even going to try it anymore because the squirrel still dug in the peppermint soil, so didn't matter. All right, so a thing about the seedlings I'm putting out, they did so well this year. I have had the worst success planting seeds and having them grow. My sister kept telling me, use seedling soil, use seedling soil. And she visited me and brought a bag of seedling soil. And we started, it was almost comical how quick the seeds came up. They germinated, they started growing, they're strong. It was almost funny how much of a difference that seedling soil made. So I have no idea, but I will use that forever. All right, so basically what I'm going to do in here is the plants that I destroyed, I'm going to give up on. I mean, these are the bulbs. I can't remember which ones these were. I'll save the bulbs for next year maybe. Put them in the fridge. I'll dry them out a little and then put them in the refrigerator. But I'm going to put 3 of the petunias that I have in here just to fill this in. I was hoping, I mean, as you can see, a few things did bounce back. Oh, some of these little bulbs actually grew quite a few little babies. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be saving these. Some of them grew back gorgeous. This petunia, this is the one that actually survived my attempt at seed planting last year. So really impressed with that one. But that was it out of like over 40 of the seedlings. I'm just digging up some of the bulbs here that I had planted. They're spring bulbs, and it is spring. It's only April, mid-April. But in Texas, we're getting into 80, 90 degree days, and it is just way too hot for these to grow. God, I'm going to put the name here of the bulbs that I planted in here. I planted several, but the smaller ones. And I will, again, I'll put the name here of what those are because I would like to save them. I'm not sure how well they will do after spending most of the year in my refrigerator, but it's worth a try. No sense in throwing them out. Okay, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so I can show you how I'm planting things up. This is Calibrachoa. I love Calibrachoa. It is just so pretty. They're like baby petunias. They come in just so many different colors, and they are just gorgeous. I think they put on just a gorgeous display. But they are absolutely spring flowers. A little more than spring. They'll probably go until the beginning of June for me. But they aren't going to last long, and I know this. So I'm going to be putting, I don't know, I think I'll put 1 petunia over here and then 2 on the other side. But pretty simple. This is great soil. I fertilized it, replenished it, everything. Added compost, so it's good soil already, and it's very loose, easy to plant. A little bit of flower tone. And just pop it in. Well, actually, I need more soil in there. It's a little too deep. Here we go. That'll be good. So, my hope is, as the Calibrachoa decides that it's done for the year, this petunia, I'm hoping, will start blooming gorgeously. Okay, I'm going to prop this up a little. It's just falling back a bit too much. I like to see it from the front of the house. Okay. I may get a little more soil in here. Yeah, okay, that's simple. You can see my Lisianthus. I planted those for the first time. I actually bought them as starters. Oh my God, the flowers are so beautiful. And I'll put a photo here of that. This is one of the ones that died. I mean, I'm talking this brown dead, died with that dang peppermint spray. It was coming back. I mean, it was growing some green leaves. Now this is pretty dry. This has to be watered often. Clearly, I'm not watering it enough. So I'll continue, but I'm kind of hoping this little guy comes back. I planted, probably half a dozen Lisianthus. They were pretty for about a minute, and then they all died. My sister actually is growing some from seed for me. She's going to be bringing them in the next few weeks. But when this is pretty, gosh, it's so pretty. All right, so, and I even loved it so much. I carved in the spoon. I got an etcher, and I got old spoons from Goodwill and just etched the names of different plants around the yard into it, and with the plants that I loved the most. So clearly, if you see one of these spoons, you know it's one of my favorites. I'm still holding out hope. We'll see if this guy just doesn't want to bounce back at all. When my sister gets here, I'll probably put a few Lisianthus in this front bed as well as the rest of the yard. All right, so we're just going to put in 2 more of the petunias here. A little bit of flower tone. That's about right. And that's a little deep there too. And that's about right. Okay. And then I will definitely give this raised bed a good watering, because frankly, soil is dry. I just watered it yesterday morning. I have to get used to the Texas fact that everything around here dries out really fast in this heat, and I have usually very low humidity. So it's really important. In the summer, I'm used to watering all of this every day. Usually this time of year, it doesn't dry out this bad, but we'll do that. This is on the right side of my Mexican petunia garden, and I am growing, well, as you can see, dahlias, many different types of dahlias. And I put the petunias in the front just for color. This little bike my sister gave me for my birthday. It's so adorable. But what I'm doing back here is, this is a yellow 4 o'clock. And last year, I turned it into a tree. And I'll put the photo here. It was so worth the effort. It was so pretty. It just, well, I'll show you the photo. But it was yellow. This is a pink 4 o'clock, and as you can see, to turn it into a tree, you just keep taking off the bottom leaves and bottom branches until the trunk is as high as you want it. So this year I wanted to do a yellow 4 o'clock, and I'm talking a brilliant fuchsia 4 o'clock, people. And I will put a photo here also. These are all little 4 o'clocks that are coming up. This came back from last year, so these do come back in my area. Takes a little effort, as I said, to turn it from, the little bushy 4 o'clocks into the tree, but it is so worth it. And I'm actually doing that experiment with a few of my rose bushes this year. So, all very exciting. Actually, I think this hole needs to be a bit deeper. Already put some fertilizer in there, though. That's okay. I'll put the soil back around it. Is that either a root or one of my irrigation pipes? I'll make sure I don't mess with that. And obviously turning it into a tree in the beginning, the stem is not really strong enough to stand up on its own. So I put one of the plant stakes to hold it up, but really didn't need the plant stake once it grew taller and stronger. It stayed up on its own. As I said, a little fussy in the process, but I think it's so worth it in the end. All right, I think we're good there. And I don't think I need a stake yet. And this little guy, I'm going to start training him to be a tree. I'm just going to take off the lower leaves. There we go. And these will come off as more come up. So, pretty. And I don't think I'm going to want that many. This is just all weeds over here. I don't mind a few of the 4 o'clocks, but it appears these guys really come back strong. Okay. All right. And the other one is a few feet over this way. I'll move the camera. The other one I decided to put between these two dahlias. These are tubers that I grew. Where is my shovel? There it is. The dahlias grow pretty low. I mean, well, not low. They're like about 3 feet tall. But the 4 o'clock tree that I grew last year, I mean, it was easily 3 to 4 feet tall. So what I'm picturing is the dahlia flowers blooming gorgeous, and then the fuchsia 4 o'clock being in the center and a little bit higher. Again, training it to be a tree. Some more for Mexican petunias. Decided to come back here, trying to keep those guys under control. If you get them early, it's no big deal. You simply just hold them out. If you let them take root and grow much, it is really difficult to get rid of them. Like this guy. Big roots. Alright, I think that's more than deep enough. Flower Town. And no, not deep enough. I'm underestimating here. There we go. I think that's good. And I'll just use the soil to stand him up for now. Actually, I may start taking off these bigger leaves now. Okay. And you just come in here once a week and pull off the lower leaves, pinch them off, and it eventually will be a tree. So pretty. All right, that's 2. We are getting a garden shed. Yay! It's going to go right here. Now, I've already moved the tomatoes down there. Shockingly, they're still alive. I'm absolutely floored and pleased that they are still alive. We're going to get, someone's going to come in here and lay cement blocks and level it so that we can put it on. That'll be in the next week. So now I just need to move the marigolds farther down over there to clear the way. But this should happen within the next week, which should be cool. So my lovely husband dug up the marigolds for me and also dug the holes to make my life 100% easier. We have a mystery. The big tomato plant that we moved over here and the smaller one seemed to be doing well, but we had two big tomatoes growing, which honestly I didn't think were going to survive the transplant, but we had to get them out of the way of where we're putting the shed. One of the big tomatoes is gone, and it's nowhere on the ground. So I have a feeling some critter must have come through here last night and decided to have a green tomato feast. Where is my shovel? There it is. Okay. So this is not planting of seedlings or anything. This is literally transplanting. Kind of excited about the shed. We really have so little storage space for the lawnmowers and the tools and the shovels and really, it's about time we do something here. So I'm excited to see that finally get here. We've been talking about it forever, and now it's going to happen. A little bit of flower tongue. And clearly, I mean, we've had no rain, but clearly our sprinkler system is working well. This soil is very moist, these weeds. The soil is very moist. Good to know. I literally just planted these petunias yesterday and watered it really well. This is definitely a desperately dry area. And these guys were perky just about an hour ago. My husband came out and dug the holes wherever I put the pots, so they need to go in. But I set up a new drip irrigation line, and you can look at my previous video of putting that in. It was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be honest with you. But I did buy these little guys. So I'm going to do a T-junction off of the drip line to these little guys. It'll attach through here, stick in the ground, and this acts like a mini sprinkler to the plants in the immediate area. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. That way I can just turn on this one zone at night to make sure that it gets enough water for all of these plants. And this area is pretty brutal. Petunias do grow well here, but they dry out fast, like super fast. And actually, I think I might put some of my better composted soil here. I'll be right back. Oh, this guy looks so sad. I'm pretty sure he'll perk up as soon as he gets watered in, but he is an unhappy little plant. I should have waited. Should have just put markers where I wanted him to dig the holes, and then brought the plants out later. But I started at the front of the house, as you just saw, and then moved all of those marigolds on the side of the house. So I'm just getting back here now. So they've been laying back here in this heat and clearly are very unhappy. But I'm excited about these new sprinkler style drip irrigation things. See how they work. I'm going to put that in right away and test it to make sure, because these guys need water right away. The process is pretty simple. This is the irrigation line that runs from one of the faucets. I simply cut into it, and I have a T connector here. I use the lighter if I need to. I've had several surgeries on my hands, and though they work, which is wonderful, they're not very strong at all. So if I found that if I've warmed up one side of the tubing, it just slides on a lot easier, like that. I've seen these new, what do you call them, T connectors, or really any of the connectors that are supposed to just snap in place, which, man, that'd be wonderful. I ordered a few just to give it a try, but I know these work and I can get them to work. So for the moment, I'm sticking with what I have. So it's a T, pretty self-explanatory. The water runs down the tube, and wherever there's a T, the pressure will push water in this direction as well as continue it along the line. So then this part connects to, let me move the camera, this new handy dandy mini sprinkler for the plants. How cool is that? And this, actually, just realized, is the same connector that I purchased that supposedly requires less efforts with the hand. So you're supposed to be able to just push this in, and then you, oh, well, maybe it's not as easy as I thought. Let me give it a try again. Maybe I'm supposed to unscrew it first. Let's see. I'll put it on, and then screw it, and I guess that's supposed to hold it in there. Ah, it does. It works. Yay. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to open this up. We'll do just a little to start with, and I'll adjust it. And let me go turn on this area, this zone, and see how it works. Well, that's disappointing. It's basically acting like even less than the drip irrigation. Over here, you can see the drip is coming out pretty consistently. But for some reason, These are Tiger Eye hybrid sunflowers. Originally, we got sunflower seeds. My sister and I bought sunflower seeds. The Pro Cut, different color, absolutely gorgeous. But we really didn't pay attention to how tall they grow. And these grow like 5 to 6 feet tall. Plus, I was a little surprised. They actually are single cut. They grow one stem with one gorgeous flower, and then that's it, which I'm happy. That's fabulous. But I was looking for something that grew more sunflowers in one plant. And obviously, the Mexican sunflowers, which I'm also growing the seeds, are fabulous for that. But I also wanted something a little fuller, a little bigger, with some alternate colors. So I'm going to add some flower tone to the soil. Just some nice fertilizer in there. Mix this up. And I ended up, look at this, I mean, every single seed came up. And this is just one of the containers. I have a total of 3 for 36 plants. And that's just the beginning. I'm going to keep 12, plant them out. I'm going to give 12 to my sister. And I think I'm going to go on my Facebook neighborhood page and just say, you know, hey, I've got some Tiger Eye hybrid sunflowers if anyone wants them. Put a little soil in. Okay, dry them out using this handy dandy scooper that came with these 12 cell containers. Alright, well, he's clearly one of the roots that went down through the bottom. So let's see if we can work him out. There we go. Looks like I got it all. And I like working with soil on the drier side and then watering when I'm finished. It's just easier to manipulate. It seems to damage roots less when you're up planting. I don't know. I guess that's just personal opinion. So that's one. I'll do a few more. I'll do 2 more, and then I'll just go on fast forward, folks. I only have 2 in here. And again, the roots obviously anchored at the bottom. Let's try to get these guys out without damaging them too much. Here we go. Yes. Success. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please subscribe, like, or share. It helps me to grow my channel. Have a wonderful day.